we got to get into the All-Star game because I almost skipped it and I don't want to skip it because one of the most important things in Shaq's career happens at this All-Star game. And it is the official real life 100% end of the Shaq and Kobe beef. Now, we haven't really talked about too many All-Star games in the Legacy Breakdown series, like the whole series. We talked about the one with Jordan, the 2000, what was that? 2002 All-Star game where he hits, it's like his last one, or 2003. I think it's 2003.
You sure that wasn't Jordan's LB?
Yeah, that wasn't Jordan's LB. But I'm talking about in total.
Oh,
we haven't talked about too many All-Star games.
Yeah.
It's something I usually kind of skim over. I don't generally think it matters to a legacy except to count how many they made at the end.
Or MVPs, you could say.
Yeah, even All-Star Game MVPs, I guess it's a snapshot maybe of, it's not. It doesn't really mean anything. Like, it means you did well in this exhibition. You had some cool dunks. Like, defense doesn't matter. I don't really hold a lot of weight to it. But this All-Star Game is really important because.
But in Shaq's career, it would mean it meant a little bit more. Like,
talk about that because I think you're right. But talk about
that. So, like, I think probably I want to say maybe once, like 2006 might have hit. I feel like that's when the All-Star Game started. Like, really, it might have been a little earlier than that, but I think that's when it started. Like, really becoming a huge exhibition game. Like, once Shaq, Dwight, and freaking LeBron were doing the dance and shit.
That's this year. That's the last one he made in Miami. The last All-Star game.
I remember that. But you want to know why? It's because LeBron's bitch ass era came in that brought all of this non-competitive shit and I just wanted to.
Shaq's about that life. Shaq's the ultimate. Be friends with me. Like he's the.
I know. I just wanted to throw shit, but it was really like after that.
When it comes to that,
because you still had you had some competitive All-Star games like with. I'm just thinking about ones that like AI was in and stuff like that. Like that, they were still playing hard.
Yeah. And they're fun moments. But what I thought you were going to say when it comes to Shaq is, like, he's absolutely the ambassador at this point. But even before this, once Jordan retired, Shaq is like the Don of the All-Star weekend. Like,
oh, for sure.
He used to do like All-Star comedy shows. Like he would always do something cool at the All-Star game. He'd kiss Tracy McGrady. He'd like do his point guard thing. He would every single All-Star game. He would do the thing where he would try to cross somebody up and fucking be a point guard.
He always shot a three.
Shoot his threes. Like just acting like an idiot. This particular All-Star game, he does the Jabberwocky entrance for his last one, where it's like, this sort of deal. It'll be on your screen. Where they're doing all that sick choreographed dancing.
I'm pretty sure it's not called Jabberwocky.
No, it is. I think it is. I've been wrong before.
Or something like
Listen,
that.
I've been wrong before, man. I've been wrong before. It's fine. Look, and if I'm wrong, it'll be on your screen.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not racist. Anyways.
It's not. It's not. It shouldn't be, at least.
Look, and hopefully Jabberwocky is some racist word that I never knew was racist.
The mess.
But it is the last time that Kobe and Shaq are going to be on the same squad.
Yeah.
It's going to bring back great memories. Shaq told ESPN Friday. Myself and him, we're still the greatest little man, big man, 1-2 punch ever created in the history of the game. It's a fact.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. Yeah. I would love, and if we get to a point where we start like doing live streams and we get popular enough where people actually give a shit about seeing our faces all the time, I would love to do a 2-on-2 tournament of all the best teammates to ever play and put it on like either do it on 2K or just do something where we could fucking have some fun with it. Because it'd be cool to see all the different matchups. And I definitely think they are going to be at the top of the list and win that
for
contest.
Sure.
Like, Shaq stands behind that, but I feel like he's justified and he's right to feel that way.
Yeah, 100%. Like, when you think about it, in a 2-on-2 matchup, who's going to guard Shaq? Ever.
It's like, it's difficult. It's not easy.
Yeah,
especially what are the rules? Are we playing playground rules? Like,
yeah, let's just say playground rules, right? And let's say Kobe and Shaq get the ball first. It's done. The game is over.
So when we used to play, and you'll know this, Dario, this is what I'm about to say is a very true story. Yeah. You and I and a few other people would play pool basketball, right? We basically we tie a fucking donut, one of those pool floating donuts. We tie it with a pool noodle to the ladder at the corner of the pool, and we did a half court game basically, where obviously you're holding the ball, it's hard to dribble, shit like that. But there was one person that we would call Shaq. There's one person that they would go and completely bully, whether it be me, whoever was guarding this person, and that person is the fairy pod mother, Lindsay Lehman, who would literally get the ball, go up against, God forbid you had a female guarding you, and gets the ball, backs them the fuck down, elbows, and dunks. Every time. I played one-on-one against Lindsay in a pool basketball game in front of her whole family, and I think that they judged me afterwards. I think they thought I was less of a man because Lindsay completely emasculated me. Like, bully ball extreme. And that's what happens when you have playground rules and Shaq.
Did you really just use that?
Yes, I did. I did.
I mean, exactly. Like when you really think about it, what if you're doing prime Shaq and Kobe, you just throw it down to Shaq. Who the hell else? It doesn't even matter the person, unless you're saying Wilt Chamberlain versus like Jay West or something as the duo. Like, you literally have no person that's gonna even come remotely close to stopping Shaq.
The only way you're gonna do that is tire him out on defense. That's it. Yeah. Your only chance. 100%. And 2000 Shaq, that was difficult to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking. Oh yeah. Anytime Lindsay had a girl on her at all, it was just over. Crushed. Destroyed. To the point where Lindsay would feel bad and I'd have to go to her and be like, no, we have to win. We have to fucking win. You have to do this. You have to take them out. Man. Yeah, your dad definitely thought I was fucking half a man that day. That was fucking crazy.
That's okay. My dad's really short, so.
But, so Shaq's talking about his entrance. He said, I wanted to do something a little different and unique, said Shaq, making his 15th All-Star appearance. I realized that this may possibly be my last one, so I wanted to make it memorable for myself and for the fans. Once again, now we're on the other side of the court. Now it's my last All-Star game. Now I'm not playing 3 or 4 years. Now it's my last All-Star game. Fucking.
I really think the 3 or 4 years thing is just when he wants to talk shit.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of like me, where I just want to talk shit no matter what. And that's just him. Yeah, I could be smoking them for the next 3 to 4 years if I wanted to. I could totally see that being Shaq.
Shaq's gonna call himself and Kobe the big legendaries. Talking about the game that they play together. It felt like old times. I miss those times. So the key here is Shaq and Kobe are going to win they're going to win MVP.
And we smoked them too. Stop playing with us.
The West was dominant for a while.
Yeah, 27, 4 steals. Kobe was wild for a spell.
But Shaq had 17 points in 10 minutes, which is kind of staggering. 8 of 9. Nobody was standing in front of him at all.
For sure.
Right? And Kobe had 27, was going for it. Where was this All-Star game? Where was it? In Phoenix. There we go.
Yeah.
Shaq doesn't even have to travel.
Yeah, it was awesome for him.
Yeah. But what officially ends the rivalry?
Oh, wait, time out. And this also adds to your point, Russ, because he played better in this game, and it was probably because he was in the Phoenix environment, the sun and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, but also because once people realized that Kobe and Shaq were onto something together, they kind of fed into that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They 100%. Let that happen. And
I remember. The Dwight Howard
plays.
Yeah, I remember the Dwight Howard like trying to guard Kobe and then
through the legs,
between the legs, and they comes up and just yeah. You know what we do. You know.
No, he wasn't. That was Shaq. Kobe was posting up. I think.
Oh yeah.
And Shaq put it between Dwight's legs. Of course, Dwight, because he hates Dwight and he wants to embarrass Dwight at every turn possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking. They get the trophy, right?
Yes.
And
and tell them what happens with the trophy. What happens?
Yeah, this is important. This is a huge part. This is what ends the beef right here.
Yep.
So Kobe and Shaq, they get the trophy, and it was known amongst the players, right, that Shaq wanted the trophy to give it to his son, right, and Shaq had mentioned it throughout that. You know what I mean? Like, cool to give this to my son, but they split it, right?
Yeah.
And Kobe says to Shaq,
"But do you remember what you did during that game to make me realize I was with you all these years?"
No.
You don't remember?
Mm-mm.
So we got the co-MVP. It's me, Sharif, and you standing on stage. And what did you tell me to do? You told me to take the trophy home.
That's right.
Remember that?
Yeah, I did.
And I realized now, I was like, I think I may have messed something up. Because a lot of times that our beef was going on, you know me, I'm the master marketer. About 60% of the time, I would just say it just to keep it going. But like when you did that, when you didn't have to do that, because usually they take it and they mail it, but you're like Shaq, you know Sharif loves you. So so here you go, Sharif, and you gave him the trophy. I just said to myself, I was like, luckily I won 3 out of 4 with this guy, but I was to this guy, so I owe you an apology. I'm gonna give you an apology, but we ain't gonna be doing all that crying. But thank you for that moment, because Sharif loved that moment. That was the first time I was able, to give him something. He was there. I was going through a lot at that time, and he loved you for it. I love you for that moment. So thank you for that moment.
Thank you.
Here, man, you could take the trophy.
Yeah.
Now, of course, something tangible and like something material would bring Shaq so much emotion.
Such an asshole. Like, this is actually like Shaq.
No, this is real shit. You know why? This is real shit. It took this guy getting a fucking MVP trophy from the All-Star game to go, I may have messed something up. No, motherfucker. You should have known that as soon as you fucked it up. Oh man, what a nice guy giving me the MVP trophy. He literally, in the last interview between Kobe and Shaq, the last time they see each other ever, Shaq starts crying.
No, I don't think he cried.
Oh, he 100% cries. I got the footage. It'll be on your screen. Fucking, he cries. There are tears, and he goes, and he tries to hold stuff back, and he's going, I may have messed something up. Because this guy is such a good guy. Because he gave him a fucking trophy that doesn't matter.
Nah.
Not because Kobe was probably right about the basketball situations, was probably right about Shaq shouldn't have been in shape. No, because of a material fucking object.
I think it's no. So time out. I think there's also a little bit more to it, because you gotta look at it from that moment. Like, literally, you got Shaq shitting on him in the beginning of the season, right? At this point, Shaq's already got the 4 chips. Everybody's on Shaq's side, along with MVP, everything. Shaq's already like a made man.
Yeah.
And Kobe's still really not a made man. Like, a lot of people looked at him as, like, were you really as good as everybody made it seem like, even though people
I think people think he's a legend for 2 reasons: popularity and the 35 point per game season. Once he did the 81 to the Raptors, he crossed over to the legend status, in my opinion.
I feel that. But I
agree with you that he's not even though he might be a legend, he's not a made man yet. I understand what you mean by that.
And even with this, like, that's another notch on his belt that he could be All-Star MVP. And he's like, no, this is like the end of your career and all this is the end of your and you're giving this to your kid. Like, yeah, and he was just like, so he's probably looking at all of that too. Like, I've been a dick to this guy for years.
Yeah,
and he literally still,
that's what it is.
So,
and that's my point. My point is, why did it take him getting a trophy to realize that. I don't understand.
Not the trophy. It's the act of kindness. I think that like it was more so like it could have been something smaller than that. I think he would have realized that because this is probably like
I want you to be right about this for the record. I want you to be right about this.
I've actually I find it so Shaq hard talk to about this a bunch. Like I've heard him talk about this multiple times.
What have we learned through doing this whole legacy breakdown? Shaq is a little bit of an embellisher, to say it nicely.
Yeah,
a little bit of a bullshit artist.
I think like when he's talking about it, like the act, I think it's the act of kindness that he looks at when he's like, all right, I've hated this dude for this long because all this isn't like all of this happening. It's been years. They probably hadn't been in like the same room or the same area for that long ever, like for like since 2004. So like he's probably just looking at this guy like, oh, this guy's an asshole, and he snitched on me, all this other shit. Like they have like a lot of history, and then when he finally is around them, he's like, oh wow, what? Like he's really not like. He's not as bad as I've been thinking for the last. I've been thinking this guy's a complete asshole. But also, Kobe changed at that point too. Like Kobe wasn't. The
same. Definitely. A little bit. He's still, to your point, got something to prove. So it's still in there. Like he's not post-retirement Kobe,
and he proves it.
Like who I would have wanted to hang out with. I wouldn't want to hang out with this Kobe. He's too more focused and motivated and a little crazy.
Yeah,
I would have wanted to. I would have wanted to hang out with post-career Kobe, the guy who's the girl dad and understands how fucking insane he was. Yeah. Like, I love that. The self-aware one. I love that about Kobe.